Hello everyone, in this video I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Shahbaz Gill to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Shahbaz Gill's words. First of all, the countdown, 77 days to go. There are 77 days remaining until Field Marshal Asim Munir's retirement and the arrival of a new army chief in the country. We are yet to see if Field Marshal Asim Munir will retire according to the Constitution or not. By the way, this would be his second retirement. He had retired once before, and after his first retirement, he was appointed Army Chief. The question now is whether he expresses confidence in his institution. You know, in such institutions there are many highly capable officers because our institution is strong, and we all respect it. Now we'll see if Field Marshal Asim Munir has confidence in his institution, respects it, and believes that the institution is producing talent, and whether the generals behind him have the potential to become Army Chief. Or does he believe that no one below him has the ability to run the army, and that only he is capable of doing so? Will he express trust in his institution or not? November 29th is the day when Field Marshal Asim Munir will retire and go home, and there are just 77 days left. In these 77 days, we will find out if the current regime trusts the army's merit and the talent within it, or if they just want to bring in their hand-picked people. This will be decided in the coming days. Now let's move to today's important news. First story, Alipur. A heartbreaking and devastating scene. Not only Alipur, but also the neighbouring districts have been devastated. The tragic story of Alipur is different because there, people were stuck in trees not for hours, but for days. They got stuck in the trees because, to save the land of a few influential people, a large dam was suddenly breached. As I had predicted when the water reached Narawal, Pakistan has become a country where corruption and illegal practices are pervasive from top to bottom. I told you earlier that as the water moves from central Punjab, the voices of poor landowners will rise because their land is being destroyed to save the land of the rich. This is exactly what happened in Alipur as well. A wrong breach was created suddenly, causing 12 feet high water to flood the villages. You can't even imagine the scale of the devastation. Fields that were lush green became an ocean. The water was as high as 12 feet, submerging people's homes, and even their livestock was washed away. People had nowhere to take shelter as their homes were underwater, so they climbed trees and stayed there. One call came in saying that a person was stuck in a tree. They called Rescue 1122, stating that the person was in a life-or-death situation and asked for help. The lady from the rescue service replied, "You called earlier and said that the person is in a life-or-death situation. Is he still in that situation?" She said it like it was no big deal. You can't even imagine how cold-hearted and absurd this response was. Imagine someone drowning in the water trying to hold onto a tree, and they are told to wait because they had already been informed half an hour ago that they were in a life-or-death situation. This incident, if authentic, is heartbreaking. However, even if this specific case is not true, the overall situation is much worse. People are still stuck in trees. There is no one to save them. Those who have been contacted by their relatives are crying, and private boat operators are asking for money to rescue them. Some even say that rescue services are charging money. Mariam Aurangzeb, upon visiting, faced a lot of complaints from the people. On the other hand, Mariam Nawaz was greeted with a red carpet, despite the devastation around her. It's astonishing to see such hypocrisy when people are crying for help, but the government is only concerned with publicity stunts. Initially, they treated the flood as a publicity stunt, but when things began to backfire and they realized the severity of the situation, they had to reassess. Now, people in Alipur and surrounding areas are not asking for food or shelter. Instead, they are asking for help to retrieve the bodies of their loved ones that have been submerged for days. This is the grim reality they are facing. In the beginning, the government and media thought of this disaster as a way to gain publicity, even running full-page advertisements in major newspapers while neglecting the flood victims. But as the situation worsened, they had no choice but to scale back their publicity efforts. Now, they are mostly focusing on damage control. The next story. Hafizullah Khan Niazi, a staunch critic of Imran Khan, has started writing columns on a new topic, the succession of Imran Khan. Niazi, who has consistently criticized Imran Khan, is now speculating about Imran Khan's political successor. His recent columns suggest that if Imran Khan is no longer able to continue his political journey, Alia Khan, Imran Khan's sister, could take over the leadership of PTI. However, this seems unlikely because Imran Khan has repeatedly stated that he does not want any family members to enter politics. His sister, Alia Khan, has also expressed that she has no interest in politics. Despite this, Niazi continues to speculate that the establishment may be planning to install Alia Khan as the future Prime Minister. He claims that if Alia Khan were to become the Prime Minister, there would be no harm. This, according to him, could be part of the establishment's plan. However, this is hard to believe. The relationship between Imran Khan and his sister is such that she would never consider participating in any such plot against him. Hafizullah Niazi's column suggests that if Imran Khan's political journey ends, there is a possibility that Alia Khan could take over PTI leadership. But I believe this narrative is more of a speculative theory rather than a grounded reality. It seems Niazi is pushing an agenda by claiming that the establishment is involved in a plan to make Alia Khan the successor, but he has no evidence to back this up. Moreover, he uses the term "God forbid" to discuss the possibility of Imran Khan's political career ending. If Niazi is implying that this is a good thing, then he's essentially wishing for Imran Khan's downfall, which speaks volumes about his political stance. We will have to watch closely to see how this story develops in the coming days. In conclusion, this is a complex political narrative, and many questions remain unanswered regarding the establishment's intentions, as well as the future of PTI and its leadership. We will keep an eye on these developments as they unfold. Engineer Muhammad Ali Mirza, a case against him for insulting sacred personalities. The physical remand of engineer Muhammad Ali Mirza has been approved. FIA presented him in the Rawalpindi court for a case involving the insult of sacred personalities. Senior Civil Judge Waqar Hussain Gondal approved his 7-day physical remand, directing that the investigation be completed and that he be brought back on September 19th. Nothing will happen to him. But he's a big military tout at this time, just like I told you that our generals keep all kinds of touts. In journalism, there are those who yesterday were saying that Qatar's security should be handled by us. Similarly, there are touts in the religious scholars, artists, actresses, singers, businessmen, and every field of life. From cricketers to anyone in every field, they have placed their people everywhere. These scholars were also very controversial. They always spoke in a contradictory manner. Their entire research was based on spreading hate, like Maulana Tariq and many other respectable scholars who talk about bringing people together and fostering mutual love. These people always talk about differences. They talk about differences between Shia and Sunni, differences within Sunnis, differences between Ahl Hadith and Deobandi sects. They always propagate differences, and their businesses flourish by doing so. They themselves got entangled in it. Some of them made insulting remarks, and now there is significant pressure from the scholars. The government is doing all this to divert attention, but because these people are military touts, they will be safely launched again. The next piece of news is that Muhammad Umar has tweeted about a Twitter account by the name of Raja, which has been insulting women of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf and using foul language against all women. Even in this tweet there are obscene remarks. However, Khawaja Sahib is endorsing these insults. Furthermore, Raja Sahib mentions that if you look at this account, which is used to abuse, even Maryam Nawaz follows it. In fact, if you pull out Maryam Nawaz's follower list, you will find many people who insult others. This woman enjoys both filthy films and filthy language, and she seems to like both the ones who produce and distribute them. Why, I don't know, although as a woman she should stay away from such people. Regarding Khawaja Sahib, I can only say that if God brings him back into this world, then you can't curse him. If he were not a government official, Khawaja Sahib would have been saved from many problems. But now that he is in this position, his parents are respectable to us, so we cannot say anything about them. The situation is now such that the disease associated with Khawaja Sahib's name has to be tolerated. He has reached 70-something, and God bless him with life. But as long as he stays around, whenever he opens his mouth, the stench of sewage will follow. But, of course, he continues his routine of insulting women and indulging in other wrongdoings. At night, when his mood changes, the situation worsens. More inappropriate things come out of his mouth, and he regularly keeps making these remarks. Moving on to the next news, a strange incident occurred in Islamabad. The name of the federal minister is not being revealed yet, but since journalist Nurul Amin's reports are trustworthy, we are presenting it to you. The son of a common federal minister was caught by criminals and became involved in a crypto scam. The son of the minister, after making a crypto deal of 6.5 crores, was taken to minister's colony by 7 criminals. They later asked him to meet them at Trail 3. When he arrived at Trail 3, the criminals, armed, looted him and took his car. They took the car and the money and dropped him off near Sanjani. The criminals had promised him 6.5 crores as part of the crypto deal, but the police didn't receive any formal complaint. However, the police later recovered the 6.5 crores and returned it. Nurul Amin reports that it was the federal minister's son who was involved in this scam, but I think this isn't an isolated incident. Such scams are happening in many homes. In another piece of news, the provincial government has not allowed a military operation in Bajar. Former PTI MNA Gul Zafar Khan said this at a tribal gathering in Nishtar Hall, addressing that if our government had supported the operation, then Ali Amin Gandapur and I are ready to face any punishment. He also mentioned that Ali Amin Gandapur should clarify his position, as he previously spoke in favour of a targeted operation. I don't think any operation should be allowed, as Imran Khan has clearly stated that operations are not the solution and things should be resolved through dialogue. On the other hand, 5 employees of a public utility service in Banu were abducted by Taliban militants and taken to an unknown location. Their vehicle was recovered and they were in the field repairing the power system when they were abducted. This follows a previous incident where 138 cows were taken from a military dairy farm in Banu. While Pakistanis are drowning in floods, many are also dying abroad in search of a better future. Meanwhile, the military is offering to handle Qatar's security. Also, the first female Chief Justice of Nepal, Sushila Kaki, has been elected as Nepal's interim Prime Minister. The developments in Nepal are ongoing, and it remains to be seen where the country heads. There are also reports that the United Nations General Assembly overwhelmingly supported the two-state solution for the establishment of an independent Palestinian state, with 142 votes in favour, 12 abstentions, and 10 opposing countries. The United States, Hungary and Argentina opposed it. Now, everyone knows about the tragic killing of Charlie Kirk, a prominent right-wing political figure in the US, who was murdered in Utah. His close association with former President Trump has made this event even more noteworthy. Trump confirmed that the murderer has been arrested, and this development will have significant repercussions in the United States in the coming days. In other news, Pakistan's Chief Minister Murad Ali Shah has been travelling the world, while Maryam Nawaz has just returned from Japan, Thailand and China. Meanwhile, Gandapur reportedly doesn't have a passport. Gandapur should not engage in such behaviour as a CM. There are claims that Gandapur is now working only for his own benefit. These are not my words, but his critics' views. If I were not in the party, I wouldn't care about this matter. But if Gandapur's passport has indeed been blocked, let me tell him that even a blocked passport can still allow travel, as it's just a copy, and you can still use it for travel. However, you may face complications with new passports in some countries that know about the block, but countries like Afghanistan won't stop you. If the Pakistani government refuses to let you travel, that's a different matter, but you can still travel with a blocked passport. The final piece of news involves an incident near Oman on September 7th, where a boat carrying illegal immigrants capsized. There were 20 Pakistanis on board, and a gas cylinder explosion caused a fire. One Pakistani, Hamidullah Khan, was rescued by a ship and is currently in the custody of Omani authorities. He has identified 11 of his deceased companions. The boat was travelling from Gwadar to Iran and then to Oman. FIA and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs are investigating the matter, and it is suspected that the people responsible for sending these people on the boat were involved in fraudulent activities. Of the 20 passengers, 19 Pakistanis are dead and 1 survived. The investigation is ongoing, but this is the situation. On one side, Pakistanis are drowning in floods, and on the other side, they are dying abroad for a better future. That wraps up our translation of Shahbaz Gill's video. I hope this English version helped you understand his message better. Please like, share and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.